has got 2 on it. The second row has only got 3, so there's 3 bikes missing in there. What should be 8, there is only 5 at the moment. So wow, drama here to the max as we look at who's going to have the advantage to go through. This should be too much of a jump start there from the fast flying man. Looking at the Scott structural machine there, I think it was going to be an update. Keen to look out for that. It was Dale Finch. He should have been the best place. Look out for the bright orange for SD11. That's Seth Devereaux Racing, and the number 11, he's stuck back there into 4th place, but I think that might be
Richie Dibbin out in front there.
Well done, thank you, Brad.
Then go back to Ashton Hughes on the Hughes Motors Triumph there. Rogan Chandler up into 2nd place. So, no, to Ashton not having it. So, this is going to be great. The Vic Club guys, they've had some great battles so far. There's Rogan Chandler and Ashton Hughes battle for 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Seth Devereaux there in 4th. But what a start. Richie Dibbin come off the 2nd row of the grid and making it happen there at the moment.
Oh, wow. Talk about some drama. We might have lost our top 3, but I tell you what, we've still got plenty of other great racing. And watch this as we go. There's a pair, then there's a slight gap. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they keep on trucking. It's a freight train run in the early part of racing, so away to a great start in this 600 Super Sport racing. Coming to you as we get live, loud and proud with more of our great NZSBK, part of the Carl Cox Motorsport support here in our DHL Express Championship for Superbike action. But it is 600s out on the racetrack at the moment, and keen to look out for the field as we go at people like Ashton Hughes, although listed from Greymouth. He's actually out of fielding. He's an Air Force military man, is a helicopter technician, and here he is from the West Coast via fielding to be here at Taupo today on the Triumph Daytona 675. So great work. Seth, of course, also on the Underground Brown Mega Motorcycle Centre Triumph, and we've got also Dale Finch up there on the borrowed Scott Structural Triumph. So we have 3 of our top 5 on the awesome Triumph triples. We're going racing, Brad, and it's still Richie Dibbin.
No, Rogan Chandler up into 1st place. So we've got Rogan, did it out of the flip-flop into turn 14. Not a technical normal move, but well done, Rogan Chandler. He leads. So this could be more Yamaha glory up in the slot at the moment. Ashton Hughes now up into 2nd place as well. So maybe Richie Dibbin might have run a bit wide into turn 14, but this is drama plenty still out there. And you see you have to go back to 5th place with Seth Devereaux, the only one in this race that's actually won a 600 Supersport race so far in this championship. So this is all this contact too with Dale Finch and Richie Dibbin. So this is all on. Elbows are out. There's dust flying out of turn 5 into turn 6. So Rogan Chandler, Ashton Hughes 1 and 2 at the moment. Richie Dibbin and Dale Finch in there with Seth Devereaux there. That top 5 battle. This is going to be awesome to watch. We've still got 9 laps to go.
Well, I wonder if the Superbikes are an oversplash, because that must be a real positive vibe happening down there in the Blue Crew team with Race Chief Josh Coppins joining us here today. But of course the win for Al Hoogie in there, and now you've got his teammate on the 600 and Rogan Chandler, this young dynamic man out of Wellington in flying good form. And Brad, you'll appreciate he's an apprentice carpenter, so he's starting from the bottom up in the world of construction, and a talented young man, a very nice young man, and great to see his performance. And look at this on the racetrack, just as Al did on the Blue Crew R1 before. He's on the R6 and he's flying and got a great run out in the lead.
Yeah, great stuff. Rogan Chandler into the flip-flop he goes, the number 15 machine. He leads him. Number 7, Ashton Hughes, the Hughes Motors Triumph. He'll be begging to get a top 2 finish rather, and he'll be looking for a win as well. Dale Finch there on the Scott Structural Triumph. He's up into 3rd place. Seth Devereaux into 4th. So we've Richie Dibbin now back into 5th place, still on there. That's a good Royd Walker Holt ride. He's in 6th place as well. Jay Lawrence on the Carl Cox 600 in there as well. He's in 7th place. Roman Rajek, local Taupo man. He's up in about their 8th place. Dylan Taupo, the first of our super stock boys. He's in there 9th. And then go back to Nathan Jane, the Barnes Jenkins Suzuki 600. That's your top 10 as we see. So some different names out there. Rogan Chandler already pushing out a little bit of an advantage. So brilliant to watch Rogan out there, and Ashton, his Vic Club teammate, right there and behind him.
And what about Dale Finch joining us all the way from Christchurch? This is a man no stranger to going sideways on a motorcycle, but when he was doing that in his heyday, he was New Zealand's 2 times under-21 Speedway champion. So in fact, following in the legacy of so many other Christchurch heroes before him, the likes of the late great Ivan Major and people like Barry Briggs and Ronnie Moore, it was Dale Finch, one of the big names we were talking about a few years ago. But he took a bit of a break out of Speedway, had a bit of a go at motocross, and was very good at that as well. But he's found his real niche in love and road racing, and courtesy of Helicraft, he's been on board the fantastic MV Augusta this year until that had some mechanical problems. And when the word was out that they weren't going to get that bike repaired in time, it was first up to Scott Structural to say, come on board with us and we'll go give you the Triumph 675 to have a ride on. So listen out for this name, Dale Finch. Fitch could be a new hotshot for racing in New Zealand. But it's back to this man, Rogan Chandler, and I tell you, I'm going to be one personally delighted with a performance like this as he goes for it. And look at that, Brad. I think we've got an update. Seth might have got himself up one there.
Yeah, Seth Devereaux up into third place, done it into the flip-flop. So Rogan Chandler, he'll lead across the line. Ashton Hughes in second, Seth Devereaux second of the Triumphs out there, and then Dale Finch now into fourth place, Richie Dibbin in fifth, and then we go back to the Kawasaki, Roy Walker Holton there as well. So this is a brilliant fight on our hands. That's third, fourth and fifth there, but look at this Rogan Chandler ride. What a brilliant performance, and he showed glimpses of this so far. Had a couple of bad results, but this is better stuff, and this is what we've come to expect from Rogan. So this will do his confidence a world of good. Out there flying at the moment, Rogan Chandler on the Blue Crew R6.
Well, great to watch, and look at the buffer he's pulling out here, looking spectacular for sure, as we love the freight train to watch him behind him. Look at that from SD, Seth Devereaux on attack at the moment. This is exactly what Seth wanted to do. The man from Tapanui. Check your geography out there, folks, if you're looking out there and listening loud and proud, because that is just exceptional. So well done, the Tapanui man on the Underground Brown Mega Motorcycle Centre, Race Supplies, Triumph New Zealand, CMG Motorcycles, Longwood Farms, Podium Apps, supported bike. The man who's called Taupo's home for the last few weeks. He'll be heading out of Taupo and heading back home in the next few days. So been great to have Seth around here. He's a social media freak, I call him, this guy. He knows all about social media, the way to use it, how to do it. He's got a fantastic machine that can do filming from the air, so he's got proper camera mounted technology, and it is so good to see him. When you deal with him, the Brup media man, you certainly know you're dealing with quality. The likes of drifting in New Zealand, they steal for his time, but he of course has got a true passion for road racing, and that's exactly what he's doing here on the road race track at the moment. So the real credits to Seth Devereaux, one of our young people that's had a go. He's been a board member of Motorcycle New Zealand as well, and he's been the one who's been proactive behind our app, our total new registration and a rider means of getting into our sport, and we're really looking forward to that coming to fruition over the next 12 months. So what a key part he's had, and an all-round nice guy in our sport, Mr. Seth Devereaux.
Yeah, out in front at the moment, Rogan Chandler, a massive 3.1 second advantage, the fastest man on track is Rogan with a 1:38.43, so that's fair humming around here on a 600. So brilliant stuff, Rogan Chandler, full credit to him out there. But then this battle for second, this is really heating up. Ashton Hughes on the Hughes Motors Triumph with another Triumph in behind him, and that's Seth Devereaux, the Underground Brown Mega Motorcycle Centre Heat Miser Triumph, and then a third Triumph in a three-way fight there with Dale Finch on the Scott Structural Triumph as well. Brilliant stuff to see that. And then the Dibbin Swartz Suzuki Bernard Racing entry, Richie Dibbin there in a good fifth place as well. So that top five out there, they're flying at the moment, and I have to see, we'll look at Tarbin Walker and Dylan Telford up there as well, so that's your super stock battle. They've got a good little battle going on for their super stock 600 championship as well. We'll keep an eye on that when we get an update of our points, but at the moment, take nothing away from Rogan Chandler, the number 15 machine flying at the moment.
All right, shout out there as well to Jesse Wickie, ex-motocross man on the Suzuki GSX R600, courtesy of Waikato Scaffolders and Boyd Motorcycles out of Hamilton. Hi to Emma and the family here today as well, so great to see Jesse getting involved in big league racing. Yes, he's done a lot of good club level stuff, and he's very competent here around Taupo. He's a member of the Hamilton Motorcycle Club, so he does their club level events here, and now here he is turning up at a championship, and he's knocking out a very good 14th place around good company like Regan Phipps and Pete Allison in there at the moment. So shout out for some of our mid to late packers, and racing here at the moment is often the focus too much is on those out in front, but I tell you what, it's hard to take your eyes off it, isn't it? Look at this from Rogan Chandler, man, oh man, give a kid a little bit. Look at this, you've given him a little bit of an opportunity because the other three have gone, and this is a real psychological advantage because he knew it, Brand. He knew that without those others he was capable, and he's igniting his passion and showing us just how good he is. Look at that, that is grandstanding and way out in front.
Absolutely, took another 7/10 of a lead that last lap round. He's at 3.8 seconds, and Seth Devereaux now up into second place. So the Underground Brown Triumph, he's up into second place. Ashton Hughes right there in third as well, so that's still a good battle there. There's a half race distance, still 5 laps to go, with Dale Finch still in fourth place and Richie Dibbin there in fifth, but a good little battle. That battle in behind them is the battle for the super stock 600 class as well. Tarbin Walker and Dylan Telford, they're right in there as well, so absolutely brilliant stuff. The battle for 6th and 7th on the track is actually our battle for 1st and 2nd in the super stock 600, so full credit to those guys there out there and doing it. But Rogan Chandler, like you said, what a brilliant confidence boost this will be, and some awesome acknowledgement for what he's the hard work he's put in, and the Blue Crew Lazu Yamaha team around him, and he knows how much excitement will be down in that pit lane. There's going to be 4 laps to go, when he crosses the line with Rogan Chandler. And we'll have to see if Seth Devereaux can start eating into that 3.8 second lead. There it is, Rogan Chandler across the line, and count them down. There's Seth Devereaux going through there, Ashton Hughes in third. So having a look at that awesome little battle. The good mates from the South Island, now Ashton living up in the North Island, but he still calls Greymouth his hometown, and brilliant stuff to see another Christchurch man with Dale Finch in there as well. So we've got 3 triumphs, all South Island born boys in there, and are looking good at the moment.
Yes, in fact, so there we go. Rogan Chandler showing his class, and as Brad's picked up on our 3 Triumph riders into that next group. Then watching out for Richie Dibbon on the Suzuki. This man that's been the hero of Supermoto racing in New Zealand. He was his first ever serious campaign. In fact, he went all the way to Christchurch and levels for rounds 1 and 2 of the championship, but there was a whole lot of drama in racing for our 600s. That's another whole story in itself. So he didn't get the race experience he wanted to then. Then, unfortunately, he was involved in a crash and had to sit out racing. So he went all the way down there for very little, and so in fact when he did his racing at Manfield, didn't get, in fact he was about ready to come to Hampton Downs, and his wife had the early birth of their child, so that meant he had to sit out Hampton Downs, and then he finally hit Manfield last weekend and went bang and went straight into our top 5. So, and here he is doing it all again. So look out for this man, Richie Dibbon, ex-motocrosser again, a super motard rider. This is a guy that went overseas and rode. He did our Asian Championship. He's ridden for the country as well at FIN level, so a great pilot, but now coming on to 600 Super Sport, so great to watch. Just another story behind another great racer and our great family of Motorcycle New Zealand participants. This is NZSBK and Super Sport 600s, and Brad, you're going to be looking out for that buffer. Has Seth closed anything down?
No, he hasn't. It was 3.7 last that round. Now it's at 3.779, so 7 100ths of a second Rogan's eked out and just holding firm at the moment. So with 3 laps to go, definitely Rogan Chandler's race well in control of this one. But then that battle for second still heating up. Ashton Hughes is not letting Seth go with this one, so that's going to be a good one to keep her on. Dale Finch slipped back and they're a little bit of a 4th place there. Richie Dibbon, we just talked about him, and then the Super Stock battle is in there as well with a great return to Jay Lawrence. Welcome to Jay Lawrence, part of the Carl Cox Motorsport team, and big things coming for Jay Lawrence. So we're excited to see what that holds, but out there double classing, so great to see Jay Lawrence back in NZSBK 600 action.
Yes, indeed. There he goes on the TSS Motorcycles supported Honda CBR 600. So, in fact, I think in this series he's ridden a BMW, he's ridden a Honda, he's ridden a Suzuki. So, Carl Cox Motorsport, of course, well-renowned DJ and motorsport enthusiast, proud to put some of his resources in behind our New Zealand Superbike Road Race campaign, and fantastic to have their support, as they do for this circuit as well. They, of course, are a sponsor of this Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park right here in Taupo. Rogan Chandler, Seth Devereaux, Ashton Hughes, Dale Fitch, Richie Dibbon, Tarbin Walker, Dylan Telford, as Brad has been picking up. They are super stock riders, so they play under the box standard rules. Super Sport has a little bit of spank in it, so we know those guys can get up and boogie a little bit better. And then we look back to people like Jay Lawrence, Roman Radchik right here in Taupo, with Nathan Jane, Daniel Kempthorne in there, with Regan Phipps, Jesse Wickie, Peter Allison, Gary Morgan, and the other 3, of course, Avalon, Toby and David, although starting, well, they didn't restart in the race, so there we go. And in fact, I look on that wrist and it says a DQ. It says a DQ for David Hall. So I'm wondering whether there's been a scrutiny of that, disqualified. So unsure of that. The others are a restart, but he's a DQ. So a little bit of officialdom to play its part in there. Not sure what consequences that will have for the PJ Racing Pirelli Tyres AGV helmets man. Brad, a bit of drama there, I'm sure, before tomorrow's resumption of racing for the what will be our effectively 10th and final day of racing. This 5 rounds over 2 days, so 3 races per rounds for each of these championship classes. This is lucky number 13, or unlucky in the case of Avalon, Toby and David.
Yeah, absolutely. So full drama here. Rogan Chandler, he's sitting 6th in the points, but only 14 points behind Seth in front of him, but Seth's only 3 points behind Ashton. So this could be a massive shake-up in the points as well. That battle for 3rd place, David Hall not in this race. So one of these 3 guys, Ashton, Seth and Rogan, they're 4th, 5th and 6th in the championship, and 1st, 2nd and 3rd out there on the racetrack, but in the reverse order that they are in the points. So we're looking for some drama for that 3NZ plate as well, and they're also going to get another slab of points off the Avalon Biddle and Toby Summers, who were 20 and 36 points ahead of them. So this is drama plenty, and exactly what we need going into Sunday here at NZSBK.
Well, you'd think there was somebody that was deciding whether this championship's got a little bit stayed, not that it had, but they want to even give it a greater shake-up. So Avalon, I'm sure, would have done all the right things as we go for it. White flag and 1 lap to go. Yes, indeed. 1 lap to go. Crucial part of racing. We're coming down to Rogan Chandler, his best time at 1:30.08. 1:08.4. If we look at lap record, Shane Richardson at 1:29.6, so we're 1.2 outside of a lap record. That's probably not lap record, but hey, you wouldn't expect Rogan doesn't need to do anything silly, Brady. That top best time he set was way back on about lap 2 or 3, so where he's done at the moment, he doesn't need to push any harder because he's still got a big advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Over 4 seconds in the Blue Crew team there. You can see the pit boards coming out, so a 4-second advantage with the white flag out. That's a dream for a rider to see that, and full credit to Rogan Chandler, the number 15 machine, the Blue Crew Lazu Yamaha. He is flying at the moment, 4-second advantage, and the battle for second is well and truly on at the moment. Ashton Hughes right on the back wheel, has a bit of a moment going out of turn 8 and into turn 9, but Ashton Hughes pushing that Hughes Motors triumph at the moment, but Seth Devereaux holding firm in second place. That one's not done for at the moment, and then third and fourth, the battle there's come alive as well, so with Dale Finch and Richie Dibben having a good little battle into the hairpin as well. So we watch down the back straight, and Rogan Chandler, this is going to be awesome. So we said at the start of this one, Seth Devereaux was the only one in this restart that had won a race. He run race 3 at Levels in round number 2, but now Rogan Chandler, he's just got to get through the flip-flop, and listen to that Blue Crew Yamaha coming out of the flip-flop into turn 14. Rogan Chandler, the number 15 machine, what a brilliant ride he's done. He got out in front early, and the pit wall's going off at the moment. Well done to Rogan Chandler. The Supersport 600 race 1 winner, Seth Devereaux, pulls a bit of a wheelie and followed by Ashen. So the double triumph wheelie attack there. Brilliant stuff from those two boys. Richie Dibben gets up into 4th place ahead of Dale Finch there. So that was a great little battle we saw into the hairpin. And then we go, and Dylan Telford got up ahead of Tarbin Walker in the super stock battle as well. So what an awesome Super Sport 600 restart. That was Jay Lawrence finishing there in 8th place, and Roman Rajek coming through the local Taupo man ahead of Nathan Jane as we watch that action aplenty. Daniel Kempthorne in the blue 36 machine, he comes through there as well. And looking for Regan Phibbs, he's finished there in good 12th place. So there it is, Rogan Chandler, Seth Devereaux, Ashton Hughes, your podium. And if you had told me at the start of the day that was going to be the podium, I would have had quite a weird look on my face, I think, Neil.
Well, in fact, I'll tell you what, you imagine that as the trifecta at the TAB, Brett. What was that one going to be paying? You'd have got thousands for that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, you would have had a good, you would have been, yeah, it would have questioned your sanity when you put it on at the TAB, but brilliant stuff. Rogan, Seth and Ashton, full credit, and 3 young men out there doing it. Supersport 600 racing, so brilliant stuff, and more action than we've had so far in that 10 laps, so brilliant stuff as we wait for them at the podium. So brilliant stuff, and thank you to some of our sponsors like Carl Cox Motorsport. Without them, New Zealand motorcycling wouldn't be what it is, so brilliant work from Gav and the team. That's brilliant stuff. From them we go to also DHL Express, one of our naming rights sponsors at round 4 at Manfield. Great to have them on board. So DHL Express running the business from home, and see if you can give them a call and get up to 30% off a tailored business solution for your business. So brilliant stuff as we see them streaming into pit lane, and we'll go down to Neil, who will have our podium.
Well, fantastic to see as the Pirelli caps go on. The winning caps for all three of our pilots, and Ashton, wow, what drama to start the race and then the restart, and look what happens. Here you are on the podium, and well deserved.
Yeah, I was really lucky to not get too caught up in that incident at turn one. I mean, really unfortunate for everyone that went down there, and it sort of meant that we kind of had a bit of a clean run of it. Rogan come through at some stage, and then he just cleared off, and I no way I could hold him, so full credit to Rogan. And then lap board sort of said 0 all the time, and I was like, well, I figure it must be Seth or Dale or Richie or someone. So eventually I seen a big orange bike come past, and then managed to tag on the back of Seth. He pulled a little gap, and I pulled it in a couple of times, but yeah, he just had the drive on me.
Well, indeed, Taupo, it's not your home track, but do you like it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, as sort of Seth said in the press conference yesterday, you do have a lot less grip, and the bike does move around a lot, which, I mean, yeah, can be kind of good because you sort of know where your limits are sometimes. But yes, it's really good. Loved it.
Well done. There we go. Ashton Hughes, a great effort. Oh, back on the podium again. Look at the serious look on this, man. It's hard to be so serious when you've always got a smile on your face, Seth, but man, that one had to make you smile, didn't it?
Oh, it's a lot easier without those other clowns. Jeez.
Oh, how's that? Oh!
Without being rude, I don't think I would be here if they stayed on, but Dave did us a miracle there. Thanks, mate. Sorry to Ev and Tobes, but yeah, hats off to obviously my boys, Merv and Robbie. Without them, none of this would have happened. I had a really average qualifying. I was probably overconfident and let myself down, so had to regroup. And yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. The weather looks like it could be more in my favour. I was hoping that we'd have more and more hold-ups with the sidecars and red flags. The rain's coming, but and it is what it is. Hats off to Rogan. I think it's his first win possibly in Supersport, an absolutely perfect ride. He got the gap straight away, knew what he had to do, got past and checked out. I had to pace for him, but he'd already done the job, so well done.
Yeah, well done. He passes the credits on as well. Thank you. All right, we can hear the other bikes so quickly get